subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
All right, let's get African pride. African pride in the building. African pride. What's going on, African pride?
What's going on, Tariq?
How are you, African pride? What's on your mind?
Can you name me? Can you name me two FBA names?
FBA names.
Yes, please.
Mike and Jonathan.
Mike and Jonathan is it's from Europe.
Right. And one of your African leaders is Jonathan Goodluck. So, what's your point?
Man, you was denigrating our African culture.
Yeah,
So I want to ask you, give me two FBA names.
I just said it, Jonathan. That's an FBA name. A lot of FBAs got that name, just like a lot of Africans got it.
So you can't name me. You can't even name two FBA names.
I did. Cynthia. That's an FBA name. A lot of black women named Cynthia.
That's from England. I'm saying FBA. That's FBA names.
Yeah, but Africans got it too, like Cynthia Revo. So what's your point?
That's exactly my point. You can't name two FBA names, but you're trying to denigrate.
No, I know.
Trying to denigrate our culture. It sounds like you kind of projecting.
No.
It's a projection.
Slow down. I can listen. We have a lot of different names. We have a lot of different names. Some that came from European society. Some names that comes from African society.
What's the name that comes from you?
Some names.
What comes from the Majaro spirit?
LaQuisha, that's an FBA name.
LaQuisha,
that's an FBA name.
Hold up.
Charlicia is an FBA name. We have a lot of names like that, sir. Y'all denigrate them. Yeah.
Those are variations of English names, like Charlize.
No, it ain't.
Is Charlotte. It's half Charlotte and half Alicia.
No, it ain't.
Can you name me
some
indigenous Majaro spirit FBA names?
Charquetta, that's the one.
That's all hybrid variations, my brother.
All names hybrid variations, sir?
Yes, I was trying to just.
All names are hybrid variations, sir. All of them.
No, they're not.
It is. Just
So
like them African names, they're hybrid names.
So you telling me Mobutu is a hybrid name?
Yeah, they would give people names like they didn't have last names, so they would give them names based on some of their characteristics, like Umbutu and whatever the word for big ears meant, bigger Dundee, and they'll just say that's your last name. They just make them up. So a lot of names are hybrids, sir.
What's hybrid about Kunta?
Jaquita, Jamario.
That's Jamal and Mario. You just proving my point, Tariq.
Those are foundational black Americans.
Okay, well, let's move along. So you can't name me two FBA names. That's one thing, right?
Name me a country that you didn't flee from.
But you guys are the face of fleeing.
You over here, you ain't over there with Umduge. You over here with Sharquisha.
But Tariq, you guys fled to 5 different countries.
But you over here with Sharquisha and them. You over here with the Majara family. You ain't over there showing no African pride, sir. Why is that? Why are you not showing African pride in Africa? Why do y'all have African pride and you're over here with Jarlisha and Lacreta? Huh? Why are you over here with the Foundation of Black American Family?
Tariq, FBAs have fled to 5 different countries during and after slavery.
Sir, we didn't flee nowhere. A couple of people might have left. We're the only people who stay 10 toes down. Don't you dare try to project fleeing onto us.
So if you cherry pick who...
No. Don't project your fleeing onto us. We don't flee nothing.
Isn't family
Isn't what African pride? Isn't what, sir? Unmute your microphone, sir. While you sitting over here with Charlisa.
Isn't family reunions a fleeing activity?
No,
You guys wouldn't have family reunions if you weren't fleeing each other.
that makes zero sense. Explain how that.
What?
How does that make sense?
Okay, you wouldn't have family reunions if you all haven't fled from each other.
How do you flee from each other, then you reunite with each other?
Exactly, a family reunion. You guys are coming back together after fleeing from one point you guys were once together from. But like I said, you guys fled to 5 different countries during and after slavery.
You tethers are just stereotypes of just lying pieces of filth. Do you tethers know to do anything else but just sit here lying? You're just lying, just making up stuff. Do you tethers know how to do anything else besides lie? I mean, damn, you're just a walking stereotype of a lying, scamming, deceptive tether. There's a reason why you're over here with Jamarcus Nem and Charlisa and Sharquetta. Because Sharquetta and them, they stand 10 toes down. You can't
But
be trusted.
Sharquette is
No,
not running shit.
you running here.
Well, Sharquette is not running shit.
If she's staying 10 toes down and you're the one running to Sharquetta for
And,
protection. Let
can
me
I make
get
another point
African
too?
pride. Hold on, African pride. Let me get our brother Marcel. Marcel, hop on, sir.
Hey, Tariq, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm glad I'm here to hear someone bring up this point because some people have tried to bring this point up with me. It's a non point. They try to compare our people who may have fled, the few who fled to Mexico and Canada, to them fleeing from countries where they have complete control over their government. We were fleeing, the few who did, enslavement that was being enforced upon us in a country where we were not the majority. Y'all are fleeing from countries where you are the majority. You have complete control, but you're too damn lazy to build it up and fight back. Most of us did not flee from this country even when we had slavery. Even when they were trying to force us to go to Liberia, even when after the Civil War they tried to tell us to go to South America, Central America, and the Caribbean, we refused to do so. And even in the instances where some of us went to Mexico and Canada, a lot came right back here during the time of slavery. I wish y'all would stop trying to make that non point, comparing y'all fleeing from countries where you are the majority to us, the few who fled from enslavement that was enforced upon us by government where we were vastly outnumbered.
Yes, Steve. Thank you.
But how can you say that like only a few of us fled, right? But you're cherry picking who to claim and who not. But you guys weren't the few who started Black Wall Street, but you claim Black Wall Street. You dig what I'm saying?
No, don't dig what you're saying at all. Because again, you're fleeing from a country where you're 98%. There's no enslavement happening. You are just failing to build up your nation. You're failing to run a government effectively, and you're too damn lazy to build your country up. And you fled to our country where we stayed and fought and built it up. So please stop trying to build your self esteem up by trying to compare us to y'all. You cannot compete with us. There is no comparison.
There you go.
Marcel, right? When I go to a FBA community, I see the same things I see in African countries. I see immigrants running businesses, right? Every week, uh, Carlisha, you see Carlisha getting in the putting the headlock by Mr. Kim or Mr. Lee in the nail salon because they don't want to pay. See that shit?
And then you'll see Cornell go and put hands on Mr. Lee. That's what you'll see, like they did out here in Compton. Yeah, it ain't like over there in your homeland where the Asians are whooping on folks and y'all standing around filming. Yeah, when they start whooping on folks over here, they get whooped back on. Shout out to my brother Tyrone Muhammad up there in Chicago. They tried that up there in Chicago. One of the homies went up there and put in some work. We put in work, brother. We don't flee like you. And by the way, African pride. Let me ask you this. Name three things that your country created that the world uses. Name three things. Go ahead, African Pride. Name three things, three inventions from your homeland that the world uses. Go ahead.
Math, science, and language.
Your country created math.
Yeah, math, science, and language.
Your country didn't create no damn math, science, and language, sir. Lying proves my point. Brother Marak, hop on. When you have to lie, that means Marak, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I just wanted to speak on African Pride's accusation about the whole names thing. 'Cause we just had a conversation about Christopher Columbus, and we obviously know that Christopher Columbus ain't his real name. It's just an anglicized version of his real name.
Right.
And I say that because of the fact that uh, a lot of our names were I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of our names weren't anglicized in the first place, because if you look into I know you're familiar with Jack D. Forbes, who did a book on our pre-Columbian existence in America, and
Right.
he talked about how a lot of Negroes had the name Robin, and how that had a pre-colonial dialect, or if not completely changed, and now it's been anglicized to what we know as of today in our land.
There you go. Thank you so much. Uh, anyway,
Can I put one more point too? Right?
African,
Yeah,
not really, brother. I don't really like when dudes be lying. So, everything you say is in bad faith. So yeah, when you have to lie because you're too ashamed of your failed homeland and you have to lie and project. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Let me
just
get off here. Yeah, you too ashamed to admit that y'all ain't never invented nothing. And you got to start making them stuff. We created math, science, and language. You ain't invented nothing. Malik, what's up, Malik?
No, I saw the. What's up, Tariq? By the way, let me be so respectful. But I saw the title, like, why are black men the only group who gets attacked over how we vote? And I remember I told one of my friends, I'm like, hey, yo, bro, I might just vote green, right? Because like they the only people out here that support reparations.
Yeah, yeah,
The only people that support reparations. He was like, but bro, like that's throwing your vote away. I'm like, throwing my vote to people that ain't gonna give me reparations.
right, right,
like,
right.
like a lot of people they attack a black man just for thinking outside of the box that we supposed to be in. It seems
Oh
like we
yeah,
supposed to think a certain way, supposed to talk a certain way, everything like that. Like I think it kind of hurts though sometimes too when I get this from people that I really love and trust, right?
oh
That
yeah,
don't even ask you why you think that way or why you want to vote for this particular person.
oh yeah, yeah. It's heavy, man. Nikki, you got brother Randy Short on here. Nikki. Where you at, Nikki? All right. While Nikki's gearing up, let me get.
Yeah, Randy, are you, Dr. Short, are you there? Oh,
Uh,
he's here.
Dr. Short. I can't hear you, Dr. Short.
Dr. Short, hold on a minute.
Okay, let me let y'all get it together. I get you back on in a sec. I get you back on in a sec. All right, let's get Malcolm. Malcolm, hop on.
Bruh, I just wanted to say, bruh, when you said Tyrone Muhammad, nigga, I had to pull up and say, bruh, I appreciate you saying that because we got stand up guys in our community that probably get pushed out to the, you know what I mean, to the side. But, bruh, when you said that, I'm like, yeah, you can't forget Tyrone Muhammad who went up there and
Hell
stood
no,
on
that's a ride.
business.
That brother's a rider out there. So
Bruh, what? That's a rider, bruh. And I'm for the land of my plane, but bruh, when you said that, bruh, I was just like, yeah, you can't forget about that homie. But yeah, man, I'm done with it, bruh.
and much respect. Yeah, we got riders out here, man. Shit, we got some riders out here in these streets, bro. And you talking about they whooping on Shaquita, the Asians, man. They out here in Compton a couple of years ago. I always talk about this. And this sister walked up in the Asian store and they tried to put hands on this sister. The brothers pulled up and shut that damn beauty supply store down quick. And I mean shut it down. They had to sell that joint. Ain't nobody having that. I don't want to play like that out here, man. Let me get some folks in here. Oh, okay, let me get Sister Nikki and Dr. Short. Um, hold on. Let me get one way before I get Dr. Short. Let me get Planet. Let me get this person in here. Then I'm gonna get Nikki and Dr. Short. Planet, what's up, Planet? Planet somebody. What's up, Planet somebody?
I wanted to make a really good point. So, of course, getting the person we want in office is key, right? But once they're in office, the other side is going to try to block them, like badly. And so we got to make sure that that person, whoever we want in the office, gets things done. Because a lot of times when a president becomes president, they try to do all these things and then the other side blocks them. So it's very crucial that not only do we vote for who we want and we get them in office, but then when they're in office, we're able to let them do what they were promised to do and not be just say, oh, well, they couldn't do it because of Congress or the Senate or whatever. So they're going to need our support as soon as once they're in office as well. And I thought that's a good point. I brought it up in another group, and then a lot of them agreed with me. Yeah, we need to stay on top of the president and make sure that they follow through with their promises. And I think that was just a good point. I just want to bring that up.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, all right, that's very random. All right, let me get Nikki in here and Dr. Short. Everybody good down there? Dr. Short, he ready, Nikki?
Yeah, Dr. Short is ready. Go ahead, Dr. Short. Can you?
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, Tariq. Blessings, brother, elder, to God, and to all the Tethers, in particular African pride. What a contradiction. I want to do a shout out to and thanks to Nikki for intervention and also Brother Marcel. And I want to put a couple of facts on the table for that stupid ass man called African pride. I'm going to give him some Canadian facts. And shut your damn traps and listen, you foreign Negroes that don't know what you're talking about. Black folks did go to Canada. They were forced to go, many of them. But when the Civil War came, as many as 50,000 came back with guns to fight in the American Civil War. 50,000. And that was in the 1860s. People need to also know that thousands of blacks who fled to Canada, military, in the War of 1812, who came and burned Washington, some of them, who were fighting for the freedom of the people that they couldn't bring with them. That's Canada. And so these people, you're so profoundly stupid to foreign black folks who've never studied us. You go by television. The same things that you don't like about us when we don't study you, you're guilty of doing the same thing with us. It needs to stop. If you take us seriously,
Look, Nikki, Nikki, let me have you adjust his phone a little bit. I'm hearing some of it, but it kept kind of going in and out. And I wanted to hear the brother cook. So, Nikki, um, help him get that together because I do want him to chop it up. Nathaniel, what's going on, Nathaniel? Nathaniel, what's going on?
What's up, Tariq? It sounded like he was calling in from prison. Is everything all right with Dr. Randy Short?
Yeah, Dr. Short is cool. It's just a bad connection going through Nikki's phone. So what's going on over there in East
Oh,
African land?
what's up? And what's up, Peanut? She's in the background. So I wanted to ask you a question about So recently you've been talking about in your previous live streams. I heard you talk about Kyle, and I think that you're treading in very deep, rough waters by mentioning that you might make yourself liable for it.
Hold on. I don't know what you said. Slow down. I'm talking about what? I didn't hear you. You got to slow down. You said I recently talked about who? Unmute your mic, Nathaniel. Nathaniel? Okay, I hope you're not still babbling. Nathaniel, go ahead, unmute your microphone. Nathaniel, unmute your mic. He's probably still talking. He's probably just spewing a bunch of goofy talking points. Unmute your microphone. Okay. We're going to wait on. He's still talking to himself. He doesn't understand that he's muted right now, so he's not that bright. By the way, Nathaniel is like an East African dude who pretends to be white. He's really an East African tether. Think he's up there in Canada somewhere. And he's not that bright. He doesn't realize that he's muted. There you go. He
Yeah,
just
can you hear me now?
there you go. You were talking this whole time, weren't you, Nathaniel?
No, no, I'm not.
Talking. Now, I was asking you to start over. You said I'm mentioning who?
No, I wasn't talking the whole time. You're kind of.
Okay, you said I was mentioning who, and I'm treading into
I
bad
said
water.
that you're mentioning Kyle Rittenhouse improperly.
Really? I haven't said nothing about Kyle Rittenhouse in about a month. So what are you talking about? What did I say about Kyle Rittenhouse? What are you? I haven't said nothing.
You keep bringing up this effect called the Kyle Rittenhouse effect. Uh, that doesn't make any sense, because if you look at what went down, I mean, I want everybody in this call to search Kyle Rittenhouse N-word, where one of his victims were saying, "Shoot me N-word, shoot me N-word." And I want every FBA in this call to look up that video. So what actually happened is that he shot a suspected WS.
Nobody cares. What makes you think we care? Nobody cares about that. We already know what it is. Why are you rehashing something that nobody really cares about? Nobody's even talking about that. Nobody's talking about Kyle Rittenhouse. What makes you think we give a damn about that? And you're not even a white man. You're an East
You're
African
going to
dude.
make yourself liable for a defamation lawsuit. I don't want you to lose that.
How? By saying the Kyle Rittenhouse effect? What's the defamation there? How is that defamation? How is that defamation? Go ahead, Nathan.
You're saying that he was a racist, and that fueled his rage, or this killing, this,
Where did I
because you
say?
keep saying that he killed people for being supporters of black people, when it was really a suspected WS who was one of his victims.
What are you talking about?
And Tariq, I don't want you to lose those big houses that you have in these white neighborhoods.
Okay, you're just saying stuff for attention. You're just being a musty, whining tether who's just saying stuff. You're not white. And caping for Kyle Rittenhouse is not going to make you white, Nathaniel. You having white men in your profile, that's not going to make you white. You're a light bulb head East African tether. Okay? Go find you a fly swatter and get them
Look, I want
flies.
every FBA.
Go get a fly swatter and get them flies away from your stomach and your injera bread. And stop trying to be white. You're not a white man. It's pathetic somebody with that big ass head can't think of nothing else but by trying to be white. You're not white. You're never going to be white, Nathaniel. All right? And don't leave. He left because now I'm hurting his feelings. He left. Sir, you're not a white man. You'll never be a white man. You're just going to be that big waterhead, camel meat eating East African tether who's living up in Canada somewhere. You're not white and you're never going to be white. Just accept it. Using all of them little weird 4chan talking points, that's not going to bring you closer to whiteness. These tethers, they want to be like the Myron Gaines. This is why I'm so glad we delineated. We are just not like these people. We're not like them. We're different, man. And that's okay. Just getting these musty white worshiping tethers off our damn backs is so refreshing. Just go hold your own nuts. Get off our backs. Good grief. Now, Nikki, did we have our brother got the phone line sounding a little better? We got to have my brother sounding a little clearer. Go ahead, Nikki.
Go ahead, Dr. Short.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Much better. Much better.
Oh man, I told you ever since the FBI want me to be a snitch, and I told them no, you can force me, but I won't voluntarily snitch on people.
Yes.
I've been having issues. It's intensified. Now, people need to know that Twitter was created by people who wanted Obama to be president. So if you're going to have some of you having problems with Twitter, this was an app created for and by Democrats. So what Brother Tariq is doing is completely subversive. It's like taking the sex toy and raping him. So much love to you. See how we are, how Black Americans, FBA work. We take what's used against us and use it on them. That's revolutionary. Many people who are from overseas, you guys are either in the Commonwealth or the French community, or you're in the Lusophone thing. You guys are still lip-locked with the people who screwed and stole from you. We're probably the only group of folks in the midst of whatever we can get here that are trying to be who and what we are. And it's so bad until within the last day or so, the head of state in Guinea just forbade people in his country that are in leadership from traveling abroad because they're such traitors to their nation. What you have throughout Africa and the Caribbean, for the most part, is a traitor leadership, even when blacks are 100% of the population in those countries. And so that's something that a sword you guys need to fall on. Now, that guy, African Pride, I just want to rebuke that fool. And I want to bring up something that a lot of us aren't taught. Twice, blacks who fled to Canada for one reason or the other, for their freedom or whatever reason, came back in the War of 1812 and almost toppled the United States in exchange for freedom for Black Americans. In the Civil War, as many as 50,000 blacks from Canada who had family in America took up arms and fought here. 50,000. That's a lot of people even now.
Yep.
What was it then? How dare these stupid ass people who are lazy, who don't research. You took a citizenship test and you learned all about white folk and ignored us because they told you to. You're going to pay for it. And it's not because I hate anybody. That's not what I'm saying, brother.
Yeah.
But you have a responsibility to know your surroundings and your environment. And many of you are F- students, if I would say so, because you don't figure it out. The reason that you're unhappy is because you're lazy and you don't try and you don't do critical thinking and comparative analysis, or you think that the cross of racism and the struggle against anti-black racism is only our duty when you're not white in America. You stupid ass. That little boy, African boy, who went African trick-or-treating, rang the wrong white doorbell and got shot in the head. I knew that wasn't a Black American. We wouldn't have rang the doorbell on a house that we didn't know in a white neighborhood. Also, because it's that dangerous here. This dude, oh, it's okay. It's America. It's a free country. Boom. And if you saw the news, his, pardon my language, fucked up African family had the nerve to say they were upset. They're mad that the shooting might change his attitudes. Translation, he's going to start identifying with foundational Black Americans. Imagine that. They're angrier with him identifying with us than the white man that tried to take his life. That is how psychotic and sick a lot of people who come here are. When they get killed and murdered and disappeared in this country, and those numbers are going up, these people don't go to the police because they do not want to go back home. When I was in the hospital, Brother Tariq, back in July, I kept the Fox News channel on. Whenever anything talking about the border or correcting things, the people were trembling. If you were here rightfully, you wouldn't care if the border situation is corrected, which means that y'all getting jobs and opportunities and things that you know that you don't rightfully have. And by the way, who let you do it and who's going to deport you? It's going to be the white people you worship. Who's stealing the resources in the country you fled? The white people you worship. I had to ask the nasty Jamaican nurse, who was so ugly to me until she mistook me for a Jamaican, and asked what was. I said, I'm an American. She says, well, what kind? I says, what do you mean? The only kind, the kind that's been here. And she said, but you're on the phone talking to these people, my friend who's a Jamaican, up in the Bronx. I says, well, I have family that's Jamaican. I have relatives that are Jamaican. I'm a black American. What difference does it make? You mean you're not going to give me the medical treatment I deserve if I'm a black American? I said, you know what? We don't keep you from selling your pineapples or oregano or natto or we don't keep you from selling bananas here. It's the white folks whose ass you kiss that keep you poor. What war exists between us? You know, that bitch starts shaking her head. She can't answer. I mean, so you come here with the mind to hate people. You see their oppression, and you hate them, and you get in. You line up and get with the people kicking them down. But let me say this to you. America's an empire. Others listening, when the empire begins to go down, they start cracking down on people. Time's about to get strange here, and I'll tell you. The Chinese used to be the largest contributors to the NAACP. All the Chinatowns used to be in black neighborhoods. Why? There was some protection because black American people don't hate others. When America gets ugly, the only people that are going to be cool are us. But if you burnt your asses with us, when these beasts turn, when the money runs out, you're going to have a hell of a time here. You're going to have a hell of a time in England. You're going to have a hell of a time everywhere if y'all haven't built up and created what I would call internalized Pan-Africanism, or when everybody comes together around being black people, which has not happened most places in the world. It just primarily happens here, to some degree South Africa and a couple of other places. So y'all got a lot of nerve. Now, Brother Tariq, I want to remind people, Kamala Harris, over 3,000 people had to be released from jail because Kamala just locked up all kinds of people unjustly. That should be enough for people to know that she's no good when she's a prosecutor. Number two, Kamala Harris went to Howard. And by the way, this is homecoming week at Howard University here in D.C., 100th year, the centennial. And Kamala Harris was a Kappa sweetheart. Anybody that knows about Greeks knows the sweethearts are girls who screw the guys in a particular fraternity. Kamala Harris has been a hoe for 40 years, and she's not going to retire. She's a woman of low virtue. She is not a black American woman. She has contempt for black men, although like a lot of racist women that will screw a black man and yell rape and get him lynched, she's a Hindu version of it. She's a Hindu slut. And her father comes from the class Jamaica, has a serious human rights problem where the people in Kamala's family, those browns, the ones who aren't black, and they're not light enough to be white, murder, kill, jail, and discriminate. The reason Jamaica can't move forward is the dark white people like Kamala Harris's dad aren't interested in helping what they call born free dads, or born dead before they were born. That's how they see very dark-skinned Jamaicans who are black. Some of them make it that are dark-skinned, but they have to be careful. So they end up marrying light and do it. I mean, they got colorism off the chain throughout the world. Skin lightening cream. How dare people question how we vote or why? And Kamala Harris is scum. Kamala Harris is a slut. Kamala Harris is a liar.
Thank you so much, Dr. Short. Let me get some more calls in here. That was Dr. Randy Short.
Hi, I'm Mateo. Do you want to learn about Hidden Heroes? Hidden Heroes from A to Z is a cool book that tells the stories of amazing black heroes you might not know about. You'll meet inventors, you'll meet explorers, and leaders who change the world. It's fun, inspiring, and you can learn so much. Get your copy now at hiddenhistorymuseum.com. Let's discover our hidden heroes together.